Hey kids, I'm here for Eagle Song Chapter 6 today, titled Colors. Again, as I've said at the beginning of each video, you don't need to watch the video in order to complete the questions. You can solely just read the pages as I've scanned them in for you, or you can follow along, or you can just watch the video and not do the reading, but then do the questions. Any of that is fine with me, okay? Here we go, Chapter 6, Colors. Danny woke up later than he had intended on Saturday. He looked at the digital clock next to his bed. Danny liked that clock because it was green, a color that made him think of home back on the reservation. The green of the grass in the fields, the green of the trees. Even the St. Lawrence River looked green sometimes. Green, green, green. 10:16. 10:16? Danny liked to sleep a little late on the weekends, but not this late. Weekend mornings, there were TV shows he liked to watch, and most weekends his mother didn't have to work, and they could go places together. There was a park they liked. If they sat very still, the squirrels there would come right up and eat the peanuts that Danny and his mom placed on the ground. Sometimes they would go to the zoo. His favorite place there was the big flight cage with the eagles in it. Danny felt as if those eagles knew him. If he whistled to them, they would look at him and whistle back. Once, one of them had flown down and landed on a branch so close to him, he could have reached through the wire and touched it. But he didn't. He knew that eagles were to be treated with respect. Danny listened. He could hear his mom in the kitchen. She'd call him soon to come and eat. She had to work this weekend. There was a special event at the American Indian Community House, but she was going to take him with her. Other people brought their children, and some of the kids were his own age. It was always easy to play with the other Indian kids. They understood the kind of problems he had in school because a lot of them had similar problems. It wasn't easy being an Indian in the city. "Danny," his mother called. "I'm coming, Mom." Even before the elevator door opened, Danny could hear the sound of kids running on the hardwood floor of the community house. The door opened and there was Will Tiger leaning against the wall. "Yatahe, Dano," Will said. Yatahe was the Navajo way of saying hello. Will was Seminole, and his family had originally come from Florida. But Will and Danny had heard a Navajo flute player perform at Community House, and now the two boys always greeted each other that way. "Yatahe," Danny said. Will eyed the swelling around Danny's mouth and nose. He didn't ask anything about it. Danny knew that Will wouldn't say anything unless Danny told him about it first. For a moment, Danny thought about telling Will how Tyrone had hit him with the basketball. But as he thought that, Danny started wondering, had Tyrone really meant to hurt him with the basketball, or was he just throwing it to him? Will grabbed him by the arm. "Come on, let's check out the gallery. There's a cool new art show." Danny followed Will back into the gallery. Will was shorter than Danny, even though he was a year older. He went to a school in the Bronx where gangs were really important. In that school, after you got to 5th grade, just about everyone who was anyone had to belong to one gang or another. As they walked, Danny noticed the red handkerchief that stuck out of Will's back pocket. The laces on Will's sneakers were red too. Those sneakers were the kind that a famous basketball player star always wore. Everyone wanted sneakers like that, but Danny had never seen a pair with red laces. He stopped, staring down at the sneakers. And this is a picture that's going with that page. Will turned to look at him. "You're in a gang now?" Danny said. "When you're in a gang, it's like a big family," Will said. "Don't the gangs try to kill each other?" Danny said. Will looked troubled. "If somebody disses you, you can't just let them do that. You got to be respected to be a man. The gangs are the future, Danny. They're going to be in every school. They're the only way you can survive." "What did your mom say?" Danny asked. Will looked hard at him. Danny knew that if he hadn't been another skin, a brother Indian, Will might have hit him for asking that. "She doesn't know about it. She doesn't have time to know about it." Danny looked down at Will's sneakers. He felt sad and didn't know what to say. Will reached out and pulled Danny's sleeve. "Come on, Dano. Let's look at the exhibit. There's one that has a TV set in it and a whole bunch of things like window panes in front of it so that the picture reflects on all of them. You gotta see the colors. It's the kind of stuff I'm going to do when I'm an artist. Danny didn't move. Will put his right hand on Danny's shoulder. Dano, he said, I'm no different because I belong to a gang. I'm the same as I always was with you. You're my Indian brother. Will looked as sad as Danny felt. Danny finally took hold of Will's elbow so that their arms were linked together. Okay, Danny said. He didn't know what else to say, but he knew it wasn't really okay. Chapter 6. Wasn't too long, but heavy stuff in there. You'll have the questions posted in the attachment I sent. See you later, guys.